simply means to rise, and Segment is just coming to you with another meeting form, a platform just to grace you and talk to you about a few simplistic ideas. Today, as I've been thinking with everything that's going on, well, in my region, which is Chattanooga, Tennessee, everything that we've been having to go on, especially reaching the end of the year, and things getting ready to change hands as far as our leadership is concerned, I believe that we should be self-producing. I firmly believe that self-production is an original intent. What I mean by that is it's something that should have always taken place, and it shouldn't have taken us to get to this place to where we finally do just start self-producing. So today I just want to talk to you about a thought, just something that really struck my interest, and that was walking in the finished work. You may like, what are you talking about? Well, a while ago it was a song and it said, "Watch me work." The young people were around here talking about watch me work, watch me work. What does that mean? What are we talking about when we say work? We're talking about manifesting. What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your time? What are you doing with every second that you have? So I thought that this was so great because here we are about to close out a year and go into a whole new year. But first, I want to relate it to an infrastructure building, like a blueprint, so to speak. So what happens is when a building is being built, and the topic of this is watch me work. So when the building is being built, you first have to have a blueprint to know where you're going. So then once you have that blueprint, you can now start building that infrastructure, and you can know what each detail looks like. You can know how high it's going to be. You can know how wide it's going to be. You can know what the foundation is going to be in that building. But you can't do anything if you don't have that blueprint. You can't go anywhere if you don't have that infrastructure plan. So my question to you is, what is your plan for this year? For 2017, what is your plan? What does the infrastructure look like? What does the blueprint look like? So this is the thing. Before we go anywhere else, that's the question. That's number one. What are you asking? What are you presenting this year? What plan have you written down to say this is where I'm going, and this is where I am now, and this is where I'm going to be at the end of 2017? Yes, you have work to do. Yes, you have a plan. Yes, you have all these ambitions and goals, but have you written them down to know where you're going to go in life? Most of us don't write them down. Most of us, in the midst of a tragedy, we just know that we're going to go somewhere. We know that in the bad time that we're not going to be in that same place. But the issue is with that is that we don't have it written down. We don't have a tangible plan that's to say this is where I'm going and this is how long it's going to take me to get there. So the first thing that I need you to do is I need you to tangibly write it down. I need you to tangibly have a blueprint as to what it looks like, how long it's going to take you to get there, how wide it is, and how many people it's going to affect in your life. Because everything you do, I need you to understand, affects somebody. Let me say that again. Everything that you do affects somebody. So therefore, I need you to understand that a plan is okay. But in order for a plan to be effective and critical, you must first have it written down. But it's critical because it affects people around you. So I first need you to strategically think about what the plan looks like. Number two, I need you to think about the work. I need you to think about the work. The only way to ever finish your work is to begin your work. Number two, the only way to ever finish your work is to begin your work. It's as simple as this. When you finish your blueprint, the work is already done. Now it's time to start manifesting the work. You didn't get it. I said, when you finish the blueprint, it is now time to start manifesting the work. The planning process, the work is already done. The hardest part is already done, which is the planning process. Now you have to start implementing the work in which you've already planned. See, most of the time what happens is in a year, we have a plan, we have a New Year's resolution, but the only problem is we don't stick to the plan accordingly. So what I need you to do this year is I need you to try to stick to the plan accordingly. Work the work of the plan. Because if you don't work the work of the plan, then the plan will work you, and you'll end up getting off track. I need you to work your plan that you've implemented and that you've set in place to work. That's the only problem. That's the only problem that we have. You can't stay focused long enough to focus on the work that you've planned. So the plan now that is everywhere, and you've gone from A to Z, and it's taking you forever to get there when you've never left step A. Why? Because you hadn't planned it. You hadn't written it down. It's not tangible. So that's number two. Number two, only way to finish your work is to begin your work. Begin the planning process. Stick to the planning process and manifest the planning process. Stick to the blueprint. Okay, the third and final point. Become. Manifest. Simply saying again, I'm reiterating. Plan again. get back to your plan and work your plan. So number 3 is manifest your plan. Manifest your plan means to bring it into fruition. Which means it's no longer a thought process, but it actually began to be reality. What are you doing right now in this moment to prepare for 2017 to make your goals and your dreams and your vision come into the now? What direction are you going in? What group of people are you hanging around? What environment are you in right now that is going to bring your plan into reality? To bring it, to make it realistic. Can you touch your plan tangibly and say, this is where I'm going? Can you step into your plan and say, this is where I'm going? If you can't, you need to begin to manifest your work. But first, you need to write it down. You need to become your work. You need to immerse yourself in your work so much so that it becomes a reality before it becomes a reality. Okay. So, that's the essential state of the new year. That's where we stand right now, but that's what has to happen. That's the essential portion of the new year becoming a great year. The essential portion of a new year becoming a great year is manifesting your work. And the most essential part of manifesting your work is becoming the blueprint. But before you can become the blueprint, you must have a blueprint. So I challenge you this year to get yourself together, get up out of the pity party, and manifest your work. Have a blueprint, know where you're going, and don't be deterred from your plan. I love you.
This is Kingdom Kings of Legs and Ascend yourself. Become manifest.